and congratulations on your film. So can you tell us what inspired you to make it?
So I was one of the lucky participants of the Bridge Your India program in its third year. And I was working for this organization, which is profiled in the film called Guriya, which is the Hindi word for doll. And I was really, really amazed by the work that they were doing, and I felt like all I could do was just sort of watch and see how effective they were being at fighting human trafficking through legal and educational intervention. And I came to Princeton as a freshman, and every time I tried to talk about it, I felt like I wasn't doing it justice. And every time I tried to write about it, I felt like it was really silly and I wasn't capturing them. And then my friend Shayna and I, who made the film with me, we were watching this film called Born into Brothels, which is about the subject of human trafficking in India. And we were watching it and we were like, this is so bad. And we really want to make a better version of it because that film really focuses on the filmmaker and like her experience understanding what human trafficking is. But we really wanted to sort of shine a light on the people who were fighting it. And so we applied for grants and it just kind of started from there.
What was the most thrilling moment of the filming process?
Besides figuring out that we were turning on the mics and like doing everything right, I think there was a really amazing moment when, so we had gone originally with the idea of just profiling one case where we would follow the trial of one young woman who was filing a case against her trafficker. But as we sort of knew from our experiences and also as the initial summer of filming unfolded, we realized that we weren't going to get a whole trial in 3 months because usually the cases are so backlogged that they take 5 to 10 years. And I sat down to interview Ajit, who's the main character of the film, one day, and his daughter, Barish, who you already saw also, she tapped me on the shoulder and she said, Aza, can I do the interview? And I said, yeah, you should do the interview.
That was really nice of you.
And, so we sat her down and she, I just said, act like you're a TV anchor and you're a reporter and ask questions like you've never met your dad before. And so she sits down and she goes, okay. And the first question she asks is, she goes, so Dad, when you go into that scary place that's very dark and there's no light and girls are locked in the bathroom and there are bad guys there, do you bring a gun or do you bring a stick or how do you defend yourself? And Ajit just was so shocked. I mean, he was like, she's 5 years old at this point, interviewing her dad about what he does. And there was really this unbelievable moment where we were witnessing him have this realization about his relationship with his daughter. And that was so amazing. And she proceeded to interview him for 29 minutes straight, which is a phenomenally long interview for anyone, including a 5-year-old.
We will not do 29 minutes.
And so from there, we really had this amazing realization that she could be the main character of the film. And that seeing her understand what her parents do, and then sort of internalizing that, as a 5-year-old, and also her parents internalizing what she understands, really added this amazing complexity that we just had not thought of.
Was there anything particularly scary or challenging about the process?
I think it's really scary to be working with someone you know and care about, and you care about their opinion. I think that all filmmakers obviously care about the opinion of the people that they're working with, but Ajit was this mentor of mine who I really, really respect, and I was nervous most of the time, honestly, until the premiere, that he wouldn't like the film. And we didn't want him to be involved in the editing process because we wanted it to be as journalistic and professional as possible, but it was also really scary because he had indicated to us when we came initially for the first summer of filming that actually 3 films had been made about him before, and he hates them all. Not really because of any sort of like bad relationship with the filmmakers, but just because he thought they were really sensationalizing of the work that he does, and focusing a lot on the horror of sex trafficking and the crazy dichotomy of being in a wholly beautiful city and also having a sex trade, which is something that's true in a lot of places. And so we sort of felt the pressure of, well, he's trusting us, and we want to prove him right.
Yeah. So you speak Hindi, but did the people in the community you were working with speak English?
So it depends. I mean, Ajit and Manju, his wife, they speak very, very good English. And Barish actually, during the time of filming, didn't speak English, but then when she came for the premiere, she could already speak in English. So that was really weird hearing her speak in English. But for most of the interviews, either we were conducting them in Hindi or Urdu, or Ajit would interview people and we would watch that. And then we spent a lot of time doing the subtitles.
And how was the film received, both by the family and by your community back at Princeton?
So first and foremost, as I mentioned, it was really important to us that Ajit and Manju and Barish really liked the film. And I think one of the really exciting moments was, actually before they saw the movie, we had these posters, advertising the movie. And when I went to the Princeton printer, I asked, how many posters do people normally print for like an event? And they said 150. And I said, okay, I want 300. And so we postered all around campus just so that I knew, like, statistically they would find one of them. And Barish, it was really exciting. She saw the poster and she said, I am the heroine. and it was really amazing seeing her, like, feel so excited about it.
I say the same thing when I see All Nighter.
And then, so they hadn't seen it before we had 2 premieres in Princeton on Thursday and on Saturday, and after the Thursday premiere, we were walking back to the NASA Inn, eating Domino's pizza, because that was really exciting for Barish. And, Ajit kind of like took me aside, and he said, you have done such a good job, and I really appreciate it. And that to me was like the best sort of reception we could have gotten. But I guess in terms of other people, like, I've done a couple of screenings at high schools, and I think that it's a really interesting audience. And we did a screening at this high school in Philadelphia where both like parents and students could come. A group of students had organized it for their like Human Rights Club project. And what's so interesting is a lot of people sort of raise their hand in the Q&A and they say, oh, this problem of human trafficking is so horrifying, and what would you do about it if you like had a chance to talk about it? And I would say, well, first of all, I would do what Ajit is doing, but also it's really easy to point our fingers towards India and say, look at the horrible things that are happening there, when in New Jersey, in fact, is one of the largest ports of human trafficking in the United States. So I think that sort of reception has really challenged me to think, well, I've done this film about this specific area, but what else can I do? But it's really cool having people watch it on a screen, and every time I watch it, I still like laugh at the same parts, and I still cry at the same parts.
Cool. Well, we're really excited to see what you do in the future. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.